Hello everybody. So this video is not gonna really have any sort of script, which, well, none of my videos really do, except for one or two of them back a few months ago. Anyway, I'm already getting sidetracked. So, as a few people maybe have noticed, I kinda disappeared. Over the past, month, I guess. Mainly the last 3 weeks. I know there's people that have been trying to call me or text me or comments on my YouTube videos or posts in my community tab asking where I am, or I don't know what the calls were for, but I would just like to say I did see those calls. I saw everything and I've pretty much ignored it. Like if someone was calling, I would turn the ringer off, or just, I don't think I ever hung up, but then I just wouldn't look at anyone's texts. But I want to explain all that in this video, I guess. But first I'd like to start with this, why, just kind of a summary. This year, for me, and I hate saying this because I sound like some overly dramatic teenager saying they have the worst life ever, which I'm trying not to act like that, but there's just, honestly, I just really haven't had a good year at all, and it's gotten worse each month. It has started to turn around, though, and I'm trying to do better. It really started in December of last year and January this year. Now, there was already something horrible going on before that, which I was just kind of losing my mind over, and especially during January because, well, the one good thing about January was that my channel was starting to blow up, and that was really, really getting my hopes up for YouTube. And that was during the time where there was a snowstorm, and we weren't really able to leave the house for a while, and I was starting to lose my mind, and I couldn't see some people that I wanted to see. And there was so many excuses and all kinds of other stuff going on at that time. And then you kind of go on to February and March, and you start notice. Well, that's when I started my Plush series, was in February. But slowly over time, my channel kind of died off, and I started doing less videos. I started doing less streams. Mainly starting in April, I would say there was a big period of time where I took a time off from streaming completely. But anyway, that was really, really dragging my mood down, seeing the boost my channel got in January, which I honestly sometimes wish never happened, because it made me feel like my channel was actually gonna blow up and I was gonna become something, but that never happened. And I was just hoping, that I was gonna be able to get monetized by the end of the year. And obviously I'm not blaming it on anyone but myself, because I just have not put the will or anything into YouTube, this entire time. And I've just kind of given up. Even when I was at my high points, I would just give up and get tired of it. But that's kind of what screwed me, was the fact that my channel blew up due to streaming the FNAF games. After that, there's really no coming back from that, because you can only play the FNAF games so many times before it completely destroys your mind. And the thing is, when somebody subscribes seeing you play a FNAF game on a stream, on a vertical stream, they're probably not going to watch your other videos. So basically, my views were nothing like my subscriber count, because my subscribers came from watching me play FNAF. They weren't probably going to ever watch my channel again. They would see it pop up on their shorts feed, they would subscribe, and then they would never see me again. So I have a bunch of subscribers that don't really know anything about me. So basically, I don't really consider my channel to have blown up, really at all. I got a lot of subs, but it wasn't much else. And what I'd like to, and I'm not trying to say everything bad about this year was YouTube. That was just one little section I was going to get to. And I'm over that already. That was just a little part. But really, there's been a lot of, just people around me, just drama, arguing, and just basically stuff that's making me lose my mind. And then, for a couple weeks there, I was starting to notice my dog, in June, was really, I could tell he was about to die. He was choking and just laying around all the time, and nobody really has the money to take him to a vet because they would charge an insane amount of money just to even look at him, and I kind of thought they're probably just going to tell us to put him down anyway. So basically I watched him suffer for 2 weeks, and then I left to go to somewhere for 2 or 3 days, and then when I was gone, I got the call that he died. So I had to go back over there, and I myself buried him, and that was very exhausting. But yeah, that really was kind of my breaking point at that point. That was, I believe, July 1st, because it was like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was just wanting to, like, I don't really know. I mean, it's just something that I never thought I would do, and it was very exhausting. I was so tired, and then to hear that my dog died, and I had to go dig a grave, and then get his body and put it in there, and then cover it back up in muddy dirt, which was very, very heavy and hard to dig in. Yeah, that was kind of when I stopped completely with YouTube. That was it. That I was done. And there was, after that, probably 2 or 3 weeks, really the last like 25 days, but over the past few days I've definitely fixed myself up a little bit. I was eating just nonstop, like, is like an addiction, really. Food is an addiction, and I was just doing that to, I don't know, really, just, you know how people get depressed and they start drinking. Well, I got really depressed and I started eating everything, and this year I've gained kind of an embarrassing amount of weight, but I'm trying to lose that again. And then I started basically listening to music just all day long, like all day long. And it was helping. I love music, but it was like I was just trying to get away from the world, especially with all this stuff going on in the world, and me being too aware of it, really, but it's just kind of hard not to notice that this world is really a big piece of shit, and it's I don't think it's ever going to recover in my lifetime, and I don't even know what to think about what it's going to look like in another 20 or 30 years. But anyway, enough with the world situation. But yeah, I was listening to music basically constantly. Just almost even just the same songs. And I think that was even driving me more mad, even though that was what I was wanting to listen to. So I got to a point where I was just, I didn't even want to eat, but I just started eating because I didn't know anything. I just wanted to basically drown in something. And then there was this medicine I was supposed to get from my doctor, and that was maybe a couple weeks ago. And then they wouldn't let me have it unless I came into the doctor for some reason. I don't know why they would do that, because I had just gone recently and I've always gotten it. But that made me very mad, and I was basically yelling at people, I'm not going. They can keep it. And I still, to some degree, think that because there's no reason that I had to go in there. They've never done that before, and it made me very mad. Anyway, the point is, I was just so just depressed at that point that I was mad at pretty much everybody, and I was embarrassed to go in there because I didn't want to see how much weight I had gained. So that was another thing. And even my like blood pressure was higher than it usually is, which is odd. Well, not odd, but it was just not usual for me. And I don't know if that's the weight or just how much anxiety I had going in there. But and I would also like to say some people around me, like I don't know that many people, but my parents aren't in the greatest of health. That's an understatement. So it's always a battle with that to to seem normal, because it's just very odd seeing everyone have these like very healthy parents that can really go everywhere and do all this stuff with them, and I just really don't have that, because mine are they're not in the best shape, so they can't really get around and do much. So that's also kind of taken a toll on me over the past few years, because that's really started around when COVID happened. But either way, I keep going off the rails, but I don't really give a shit because I just wanted to talk about what's been driving me crazy. And there was times I was like this before I ever knew anybody from YouTube. Like last year, this stuff's always been going on. This didn't start when I started knowing people like, you know who you are. Yeah, so, but I'm sorry to everyone I ignored. That's quite a few people actually, and with giving no explanation. But I guess this was the explanation. Still probably not good enough, but because it's a lot of this stuff I've said before, but there's other stuff as well. So yeah, if you attempt to call me or anything, whoever it is, which there's not like that many people that do that. There's a couple that I met in the last few months, but if you do try to call me, I'll try to call you back or answer if I see it. So that's pretty much it. I guess I'm starting to do a little better, at least right now. So I'm hoping it stays that way.